You know, there's a lot of shuffling that happened in the music industry in the late 90s. And when the real ones like your X Clans and your, Outkast decided to stop releasing music, and you don't hear any more Digital Underground for some reason. Tupac is dead. All these things are going on. Here comes this guy who was around the whole time the OGs were around. Now he's getting pushed to the front using everybody else's lines. And that's how we start today's show. What I'm about to do is I'm about to spend the next hour or so, or less, I don't know, breaking down why Jay-Z is Black Elvis. He's the Black Elvis, and this isn't up for debate. This isn't up for discussion. You may like him all day, yada, yada, yada. Jay-Z's not. Jay-Z is, without a doubt, and his wife Beyoncé, Jay-Z and Beyoncé are both, without a doubt, the first major, not minor, not people who had a hit here or there. Those two are the first major black stars that basically got to where they got doing how white folks did us for the first 60 years of music. That's a fact, according to my opinion, and I'm going to spend the next while proving this fact. Proving that Jay-Z and Beyoncé are the Elvis and the Led Zeppelin and the Rolling Stones and the Barbra Streisands and the Madonnas of black music. They're Taylor Swift. They're the Beatles. It definitely gets you to the top. All that biting and hacking. Hey, it's easy you can hack your way to the top. But they're the first two black artists to get to the top by being complete hacks. So that's what we about to get into. With that being said, welcome chat room. Salute Spud, Tiger, Willie Mays, English. Appreciate y'all for joining. Landon, Bismarck T. I can't go. It's a whole bunch of comments. Devin, Shayla, Mr. Feeder Speaks, Markeith. Appreciate all y'all for joining. Appreciate all y'all for joining. Appreciate all y'all for joining. So let's break it down. And I've talked about this before, but I'm gonna talk about it from a different angle than I've ever talked about this before. All right. So this is what I mean. And those of you in my history of R&B class, we're gonna break this more down this coming. Those of you who are on my Patreon, the Music University tier and higher, y'all about to hear this coming Sunday and over the next 9 weeks, the next 9 classes, y'all about to see in extreme detail the evolution of black music without biting. Let's break it down. Let's break it down. Let's first break down the difference between inspiration and biting. Everybody's inspired. Every artist is inspired by something. All right? That's just a fact. Hold on one second. Gotta turn these lights up. There we go. Sorry about that. Let's talk about the difference between inspiration and hacking. Inspiration is I hear something and I want to do my version of that. You may hear a chord. You can see where songs took from others a sound. And the Barcades back in the 70s they were really good at, well, they weren't so good at being inspired and creating their own version. At least the Barcades didn't hack. Let me see. At least they didn't hack. But the Barcades would hear something and they would create their own version of it. And everyone does it, but I'm going to use the Barcades first because they didn't do it as well as other people. For instance, you can go to Midnight Star. Midnight Star pioneered this new sound in the early 80s. They pioneered this sound. Oh no, y'all can't hear. Y'all can't hear. Y'all can't hear. My bad. Spotify share. There we go. It's so easy to rock it with your body, baby. It's so easy. It's so. You hear the chords. You hear the structure of the song. You hear that, and that's what you hear first. And then a few months later, you hear the Barcades drop this. Both great songs, by the way. Show, baby, baby, on the dance floor. It's just a freak show. People. From no parking on the dance floor to freak show on the dance floor. The Barcades obviously heard Midnight Star because that's not how the Barcades started. The Barcades, before that, when you go back to the 70s, they sounded like this. That's the Barcade sound. And before they died, before the original Barcades died with Otis Redding, they sounded like this and died with Otis Redding in that flight. But so when they got back together, they sounded like this. That's the Barcades. But even look, they did that a lot. Let me give you another example. Too Hot to Stop. You know what that comes from? I'm gonna go back to that. That comes from Too Hot to Stop was the Barcades trying to sound like Earth, Wind & Fire.